Hi, my name is Trent Rasmussen. My colleague Sarah Krybeck and I are educational consultants at CESA 11 in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin, and we ran the Personal Financial Literacy Grant at CESA 11 over the past year and a half. The title of our grant is Personal Financial Literacy Curriculum Analysis and Integration. Our goal was to help school districts do a comprehensive curriculum needs analysis. So we worked on several different things, including helping them do a curriculum audit. We helped them to develop a scope and sequence of personal financial literacy standards across all grade levels, kindergarten through 12th grade, as well as in multiple subject areas such as social studies, math, and the traditional PFL areas like business classes or family and consumer science classes. So our theory of action was that if school districts engaged in this curriculum analysis process, where they went from doing an audit to developing their scope and sequence and integrating it in many different ways, that students would have better personal financial literacy outcomes. So that was our main project that we wanted school districts to work within and that we provided resources for, but knowing that not all districts need to or want to engage in that whole comprehensive process, we also set out to provide supplemental personal financial literacy resources that districts and teachers of personal financial literacy could access at any time in the implementation process. So we felt that our grant was very successful because on both our CESA 11 website and on WiseLearn, we were able to produce a set of materials where school districts can engage in that whole curriculum review process for personal financial literacy. So we have templates posted to both of those websites where school district leaders or teachers can make copies of those templates and use them for their own purposes. And also with each of those templates, we have video explainers where people can get some background and insight into how to use those templates and go through the process. This was a CESA 11 personal financial literacy grant, and while we had the opportunity to speak directly and work directly with our CESA 11 school districts by posting it on WiseLearn, that makes our materials and our process available to teachers across the state. So we feel like that's a lot of value added and something that we were excited about with our project. Each of the templates also comes along with examples of what a completed document looks like. So school district leaders and teachers can also see that for something to model their work after. Some of our other work in the project also focused on curating and putting together suggestions on how to use up to 25 different free websites that have personal financial literacy curriculum and lesson plans. There is a plethora of resources out there, and we wanted to put it into one place so that instead of opening up all these different websites, we wanted to provide some quick summaries and analysis of what websites might be good for specific personal financial literacy purposes. So I feel like that document that is posted to our CESA 11 website and WiseLearn also be a lot of value added. One of the other things that we wanted to achieve as part of this grant was to promote equity. So we did that in a couple of different ways. The first way that we did that was we went out and looked for bilingual resources that taught personal financial literacy concepts in both English and or Spanish. And we put together another curated list for that and purchased many different resources and kits that we now have in the CESA 11 library that school districts in our region can access at any time. So we feel like anything ranging from money kits to picture books to hands-on activities that teachers can use in their classroom in a bilingual way promotes equity for students who may not be able to access some of the other resources that are just in English. One of the other ways that we promoted equity through our grant was we took what we were learning about personal financial literacy resources through our grant, and we had a meeting with special education teachers who are working with students continuing their education through age 21, which we connected with the transition grant, TIG, that the state has and that we work with in our region here at CESA 11. The teachers who we were able to interact with were very appreciative of the personal financial literacy resources that we were offering to them. They felt like they were ready to go back and use them and ultimately be useful in helping those students transitioning to independent living after graduation to have a stronger personal financial literacy skill set and be able to exercise more independence with their finances. So that was something that we felt quite excited about. One of the other things with the grant was that obviously the pandemic was a barrier, like it was for many folks. So even though we intended to do lots of in-person stuff, we transitioned to running some Zoom meetings. We have lots of on-demand modules that we mentioned. So I feel like the resources and the work that we did with the grant responded to the circumstances and also became very usable for many people now. And the part that's exciting is educators across the state can be using these resources well into the future, which was an unexpected benefit of shifting the work the way that we did. So it was also one of the challenges that we faced was, although the educators we talked to know that personal financial literacy education is important, it was not urgent in many cases during the pandemic. So we felt like creating these materials and having them available will allow us to promote them, to bring them into discussions in CESA 11 in the future, because as things shift and we see attention focusing back on some of these important things that aren't quite as urgent, will ultimately prove beneficial. So we're really excited that we have the resources, tools, and established partnerships to continue promoting personal financial literacy in CESA 11 beyond this grant. So thank you for the opportunity to run this grant in CESA 11 and for us to share some of our experiences with you. Thank you.